Hi, this is Lena, and I'm going to be walking you through how to download and install the restored content mod, as well as my mod, the expanded Atton romance mod, to play on KOTOR 2, especially for folks who haven't tried modding before. It can be a little confusing at first, so I figured I would make this video to do a walkthrough. If you already have the restored content mod downloaded, obviously you can skip forward a little bit, but I'm starting with a clean installation of just the regular base game of KOTOR 2. And the two mods that I'm using today will be linked in the description here. So we're going to go to Deadly Stream, which is a KOTOR modding site. And this is the restored content mod. This adds a lot of new content that was supposed to be in the original game, but wasn't finished in time to release. Really amazing. If you haven't used it before, you're in for a treat. There's a lot of cool new additions. So we're going to come over to this blue button here, download this file. And then while we're here, we're also going to go to my mod, the expanded Atton romance mod. And we're going to, again, that blue button, download this file. Now swapping over. So we have in our downloads, we're going to start with the TSL RCM, the Sith Lords Restored Content mod. And all we have to do is double click that, allow it to make changes, select our language, and this will probably load correctly. It is going to find where your game is hosted on your computer. I have mine through Steam, and it came through there all good. But if for whatever reason it's not showing up, you can just go into Browse and find where in your computer this is your version of the game is stored. And you don't want to go in too much of a level. You want to stay just on that Knights of the Old Republic 2. That's the one that we want to be at. Hit next, and English, and install. And that's it. It installs the entire restored content mod all automatically, nothing we have to stress or worry about. Now, we don't need the README. And boom, we're now all set. If you wanted to add additional mods, you may want to put them in before we put mine on top. The way mods work is we're changing, editing, or replacing the base game files. So here on my computer, we can see all of the different files that make up the game. So the different modules, the music files, sound files, the voice files, etc. And so mods go through and make changes to these files on your game so that when you load it, they load the different instructions. So as a result, if you have two mods that change the same file, it can cause some problems. I have some notes on compatibility on my mod already, but it is compatible with a lot of the major ones like Party Swap, which lets you change, instead of only getting the Disciple or the Handmaiden, depending on your player gender character, you can recruit both. And some of those you would want to do before mine. But if you're not worrying about any of that, you don't have to read any of the stuff about compatibility or worry about that at all. We can just go straight into unzipping my mod. Just click that open, and then all we do is click on the installer. Agree, yes. Again, it's popping up. It has the list of the files that get altered if you ever do want to compare against mods that I haven't talked about compatibility with, or if you have a question about if my mod is compatible with others, you're always welcome to tag me on Tumblr, message me on Deadly Stream. I'm happy to open up some mods and double check if it is compatible with something else. Going to hit install. And we're going to, this is the step sometimes folks can get a little confused on. We need to find that folder where our game is installed. Now, I have mine through Steam, so it's going to be down through there. This might look a little differently if you have it locally. For me, I know Steam files go under Program Files 86 on my computer. Scroll down. Steam. Scroll down again onto Steam Apps. And then Common. This is why I also wanted to make this video, because frankly, I had no idea what the process was for doing this originally. And it took me a while to find where in the Steam files the game actually was. And we're not going to click into there where all of the different subfolders are. We're going to stay on that Knights of the Old Republic 2 folder. Click OK. And it just moves all of the files into the correct spot automatically for you. You don't have to worry about anything. Click OK. This is all done. We click exit, and that is it. And when we open up the game, we see this heads up here that we did install the Sith Lords Restored Content mod correctly. We'll have this changed to the starting game. And the great thing about my mod is it only changes what are called dialogue files. And so you can actually play with existing saves with no problem. It made it a lot easier for me to test. And so if you want to start a game that you already have, you can skip Paragus completely, and you can even skip Telos as well. So the first way that you can test in-game to be absolutely sure that my mod is working is anytime after you've arrived on Telos and you are in the residential unit, have a save file from there. Or if you're past this, you can always just go back to that location. It's not time checked. And you may have to talk to him a few times to get through if you have dark side or light side points, you may comment on those. But once you've talked to him enough that the something up pops up, you should see this option of I want to check the area out some more. That's a new addition for this mod. And this way we know that the sound files are working, the mod is installed correctly, and everything is good. Alternatively, if you want to kind of skip the whole early game, the first two conversations on Telos and at Handmaiden Fighting Circle are pretty minor. And anytime after we find our first Jedi Master, we can start off the romance arc with this comment about T3. Oh. So then you are all set and good to go. If you did already have other mods installed and you need to clean out and make a new fresh install to make sure everything loads correctly, then there's one trick that you may run into or one issue on Steam. So we go to Steam, figure I'm going to uninstall my game, do a new fresh install. We have it uninstall the program. Great. And then we go to our game files, and there's still a bunch of stuff in there. If you haven't done any mods and you go through this process, the only things that will remain are your cloud saves and your regular saves. But since we had a bunch of things that we added on top of that, it leaves all of those in. When you uninstall the game, it leaves all of the other mod bits that we put in there. So if you're doing a fresh install, we need to just clear all of these out first. I'm going to click off from that, keep my saves, everything else, going to delete. And now we're back at where we were at the start. We have a completely fresh install that we can do. We'll install the game. Everything will be good. Um, and if you have any questions at all or run into any problems, feel free to leave a comment here on this video. Reach out to me on Tumblr or Deadly Stream or wherever you found links to this mod. And if you do play through with this mod and finish it, I really would love to hear people's thoughts on how it went. I ran into a lot of limitations because I was working from existing audio and just having to edit them around. So the parts of the story that worked, parts if they didn't, I really would love any feedback folks are willing to share. Thank you so much for trying my mod, and I hope you have a blast playing.